Now it's time to integrate our control file. Open ant-combine.fxs and go to File, Load as Sibling, Controller.fxs. Don't load the view settings, and let's clean up the scene. Now remember, when we were working on the controller, we threw a dummy object in called main to represent our main control in the animation side. So now we need to get rid of all of the things that got imported, such as the cameras and lights. Let's close this down. We'll close down the main hierarchy. Let's get rid of camera 1. Since it's the active camera, it won't delete, so right-click on our camera to make it active. Use the minus key on camera 1, main_1, and light_1 to get rid of those three things from our imported file. Go into Command, and let's repoint these variables to the correct object. They were all looking at main_1, which was imported, and we need to point them back to main controller on our character. So change everything that says main_1 to main and hit enter. Now some of them will turn purple. That just means they need to be reevaluated again once we set these variables correctly. So now that's done, all the equations are pointing to the correct places. Now make sure to set the execution to motion so that they will evaluate correctly and we get smooth motion. If you don't do that, you may get jerky motion or no motion at all. Now it's time to blend the proper animations together. Go to Compose. To reactivate all of the tracks, you'll see he crushes into the ground, but we're going to use an expression called mix track, which will sort these tracks back out again so that they blend properly. Let's add a new variable in the Command tab. We'll call this variable mix forward. We'll set this variable to motion as well. Let's drag it to the bottom of the list, and we're going to use an expression called mix track. So go down to the M's, select mix track, and let's fill in the blanks here. The track name, which has to be in quotes, we can pull from Compose. In this case, it's walk forward track. Go back to Command, start the quotes, walk forward track, end quotes. The mix is going to use our quadrants that we programmed so lovingly in this last couple of lessons. And this quadrant, which is the mix forward, is going to be Q forward. And Q forward, the Z position is what we're looking for. So that, which is in square brackets, Q forward, capital F-O-R, word, use the colon, ZPOS, and the square brackets. And the blend operation tells how it's supposed to mix this track together. We just set it to 0, which is the direct copy, so it's not going to change anything that we haven't already set inside Compose. Right click to add that variable to the scene. So let's duplicate this 3 more times. Mix forward becomes mix left. Mix left is going to use the walk left track, and it's going to use the Q right Z position. Duplicate that again. Mix left turns into mix backward. So we just do mix back. We change walk left track to walk backward track. Change that to Q back. And remember, our Q back is actually lowercase on here, a simple misspelling on my part. Duplicate that again. Mix left turns into mix right. We do walk right track, which is actually going to be Q left. Now let's test it out. Let's pick the main bone. Let's turn on our draw mode so that it makes everything else disappear. And let's see, move it to frame 100. Let's just move this forward. Move the main bone forward. You see, as we translate this around, he automatically starts walking. Let's move him sideways. So now as we scrub through, you can see that he automatically blends 50% into the sideways walk. And if we want to push him anywhere else, he's going to change from a forward walk to a side step. And anytime we want to rotate this object in the correct direction, he's going to align up to the tangent and start playing his forward animations. So it looks like it's working pretty darn well. To sum up, we have a character with 4 animations that blend based on our direction. We measure distance so that we can speed up or slow down the animations to keep the feet stuck to the floor. And we measure direction and tangent to blend our animations from sidestepping to forward or backward walking. No matter where our character is in the scene, it will blend its walk cycles properly. And on top of that, we'll be able to keyframe more animation. Switch to perspective view here. We don't need to see any of this. We'll clean up the scene here. Just close these down. We can just leave them where they're at. Let's go to File. Let's set our controller. Select all of those. Set their draw modes to none. So leave them there. The main, all of the joints are set properly there. Any one of these, we can add our animations on top, which is kind of cool. We can position these in any way we need to while the animations are still playing. And this is our scene. Let's go to File, and we will save this scene as antfinal.fxs.